We're going to look at simplifying expressions today. So the first one we have is a plus a. Now, when you add these together, you get 2a. So an a is the same as an a, but an a is different to any other letter. It's almost like if you imagine a fruit bowl, and in that fruit bowl, for example, you have, I don't know, 4 apples, and let's say you have 2 bananas. And you go out and you buy some more apples. Let's say you buy another 2 apples. Well, you have 4 apples at the moment. You've just bought another 2 apples. You now have 6 apples. And you still have your 2 bananas in the fruit bowl, which are already there. So the apples are exactly the same, and therefore they can be added or subtracted. In the second case, we have 3a plus 2a. So it's 3 lots of a added to 2 lots of a, which gives me 5 lots of a. Now you'll notice that in the first one, I've got 2a, in the second one, 5a. And there is a sign in between the 2 and the a, and the 5 and the a, and it's a multiplication. So 2a actually means 2 times a, and 5a means 5 times a. In algebra, we tend not to write the multiplication sign when we have numbers and letters mixed together, or when we have a mixture of letters like a, x, y, for example, which would mean a times x times y. Now, in this case, I have an a there, and I want to add 2 lots of a, but I can also see a b. Now, as we know, a b is different to an a. So I have a plus 2a, which gives me 3 lots of a, and I still have my b, but I can't really do anything with it. So that expression would be 3a plus b. Let's have a look at 4x minus 2x. Well, that is 4 lots of x, take away 2 lots of x, which leaves me with 2 lots of x. And in the last one, I can see 3 lots of y, taking away 5 lots of y, and adding a p. So 3y minus 5y is minus 2y, and I still have my p, so my plus p, which I could, if I wanted to, I could change this into p minus 2y, or rather rewrite it as p minus 2y. It's exactly the same thing. So now let's look at this one. We have some numbers, which I'll highlight in an orangey type of color. And notice I'm including the sign as well. And we have the z's. So what I now need to do is I need to work on the oranges together and the pinks together, because they're all the same type of thing. They're all either apples or the bananas. So you can clearly see that the number on its own is different to a number and a letter. So in this case, minus 4 plus 2 gives me minus 2. Minus 2 minus 3 gives me minus 5. And if I look at my z's now, minus 4 plus z gives me minus 3z, and minus 3z plus 3z gives me 0. So in this case, that expression simplified is just minus 5. In this case, we have 1 plus b minus 2b plus 4 minus 6b. So I'm going to just place a circle around each of the different items there. See how I'm including the sign as well. And then I'm going to look for the identical things. So I've got number terms and I've got b terms. Now, each of these is actually called a term. So this is the first term. This would be my second term in that particular expression. I can also just say that this is a number term because it's a number on its own, and this is a b term. If it was an x, I'll call it an x term. If it was an x squared, I would say it's an x squared term. So 1 plus 4 gives me 5. B minus 2b gives me minus b, and minus b minus 6b gives me minus 7b. Have a go at the next one, minus 6s minus 4 plus 4s. Pause the video now and come back when you've completed it. So let's have a look. Well, we've got minus 6s minus 4 plus 4s. Minus 6s plus 4s is like saying minus 6 plus 4, which actually gives you minus 2. So that's minus 2s. And then we've got the minus 4 on its own. Let's do the next one. Well, I've got 5a minus 3a, which gives me 2a, minus 2 plus 5, which gives me 3. So we've got a slightly longer expression here. And in this case, I'm not going to use any circles or highlights. I'm just going to use a loop and we'll see how we go. So I'm going to loop to my k's first. So 5k minus 2k is 3k. 3k plus 2k is 5k. Then look at my numbers. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3. And that's how we do that one. So in this one here, we have a bracket, which makes it a little bit more complex. So let me explain how to deal with the bracket first. So if I had something like 2x minus 3, well, what that actually means is that everything inside the bracket needs to be multiplied by whatever appears outside the bracket. So in this case, I have a 2 outside the bracket. And the hidden sign between the 2 and the bracket is a multiplication again. So this just means 2 times x minus 3. So first we do 2 times x, which gives me 2x, and 2 times minus 3 gives me minus 6. So that's how we expand the bracket. Let's try one more. 3y plus 4. 3 times y is 3y, and 3 times 4 is 12, and it's a plus sign there, so it's plus 12. So looking at what we have here, we've got the 5 on its own first. I'm just going to write that first. And then I'm going to work on the bracket. 4 times a gives me 4a, and 4 times minus 4 gives me minus 16. I now have to simplify that expression there. So 5 minus 16 is minus 11, and I'm still left with the 4a, and there's your expression simplified. Have a go at the next one. 3 minus 3, open brackets, minus a plus 2, close brackets. Pause the video and come back when you finished it. Okay, let's see how we did. Well, I've got my first 3 there. Now over here, I've got a minus 3 outside the bracket. So I'm going to multiply minus 3 by minus a. Well, negative times a negative is positive. And 3 times a is just 3a. Then I'm going to do a negative number multiplied by a positive number. So minus times a positive gives you a minus, and 3 times 2 is 6. And if I simplify that, 3 minus 6 gives me minus 3, and I'm left with my 3a, which if I choose to, I can rewrite it as 3a minus 3. I hope you found that short introduction to simplifying expressions useful. If you did, please do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you're notified of any new videos that we release, and give us a like. See you at the next video. Thanks for watching.